Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to some Shadow Warrior. Ooh, oh boy. I'm clearing my throat because there's a lot to talk about here. So, Shadow Warrior is one of the 3 Build Trilogy games that came out after Duke Nukem and was in development at the same time as Blood. Now, I'm going to say it right now, Shadow Warrior is my least favorite of the Build Trilogy, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's probably the least polished. I think Blood's a little bit more polished than Shadow Warrior personally, but that's not to say it's bad. Now, Shadow Warrior came out right around the time when like 3D games like Quake started coming out, so it wasn't as popular. That's why you don't hear a lot of people talk about it. I think the main thing people talk about when they talk about this game is obviously the controversy. I mean, at the time, and to this day, people still don't like it. It did get a remake series, but I don't like remakes, and I don't think I'm really interested in it. Every time I've seen people talk about it, they say it's pretty boring, so I don't really want to waste my time on it, honestly. I don't think I'm a huge Shadow Warrior fan to start with, in terms of this game itself, so I really don't care. But maybe someday I'll play it, who knows. But the important thing is, Shadow Warrior is basically like Duke 3D, but with Asian stereotypes and culture. That's something I had to point out right off the bat, obviously. I'm no SJW. I'm not going to say what is good and bad humor, or what's tasteful and what's tasteless, but this game's pretty damn tasteless, but I wouldn't call it outright offensive. More or less insensitive, but it's not really what I call harmful or damaging. Let's put the tone and context here. Special thanks to Naked Girls Everywhere and Pizza Hut, okay? So just let that sink in. This game is not to be taken seriously. Also, the enemy right there is called a coolie, which is a racist term for mining people from China back in the day. It's not really used anymore, but it's still technically an insult, so that's pretty much it I can really think of. But the game's not exactly what I call, like, Postal 2 levels of crass bullshit. But yeah, you can see that, you know, we got Lee Jackson here making the music for this game. It's just badass. I absolutely love this game's soundtrack. And of course, we're using this in Void SW, which is a eDuke 32 mod for Shadow Warrior. Now, you're probably thinking, now how come you're not running this on the Redux mode? I do actually own Shadow Warrior Redux, and I also own Shadow Warrior Complete on GOG. If I had to say anything, get the Redux, but you can also use Void SW. I use Void because I think personally the mouse support in Redux is really, really bad, but there's other perks of it, like it does have graphic filtering to make the, you know, pixelization less, you know, obvious. I personally like Void. It actually keeps that aesthetic. You can't toggle that, so there's something you can consider as well. I have played DOS. I don't like it. It's really awful. And a big reason for that is because the DOS version and the Redux both have that mouse issue. You can actually configure it and go ahead and try it yourself. It's pretty bad. It's got like a dead zone in it, so your mouse is constantly just lagging. There's also a bit of input delay on the Redux version, and traps are actually rendered as invisible. So, yeah, that's kind of a problem, especially because we're going to be playing this in the highest difficulty. But, you know, use whatever makes you comfortable. If you like the Redux's graphics, it's, you know, completely This actually does support the expansion packs as well. And if you actually have eDuke 32, go in your program file for it and see if you actually have this, because you probably do. It was actually packed into more recent versions of eDuke 32, which I didn't know about, so I'm pretty stoked. I've actually been using this for the past week just to get ready. And so yeah, you can see there's not, you know, a ton of stuff. Now, I will say now, for me, the sound is actually kind of buggy in SW. And the Redux version also has a lot of sound issues as well. Some sound effects just explode your eardrums for no reason. And some sound effects clip through, even though the sound mixing is like this. I'm not sure if I remember that being like that in the DOS version, but if you want to test it out, go for it. I don't have very much experience with Shadow Warrior. So, here we go. So, there's actually 3 episodes in this, which is going to be what this is going to be broken into. There's Enter the Wang, Code of Honor, and I'm splitting Code of Honor into 2 parts because there's actually a boss fight in between. So that's what we're going to be doing. Enter the Wang was actually shareware, which is pretty damn impressive in my opinion. So there's also 2 expansion packs, Twin Dragon and Wanton Destruction. I have not actually played those. I have them, but I've never actually finished them. So there's quite a bit of material out here, and I'll get into it. So difficulty-wise, this is kind of more or less like in Doom. There's no nightmare quote-unquote mode like there is in, what's it called, Duke 3D. This game, I thought for the longest time, had differences in enemy health between difficulties. I don't think it does. There's no difference in damage, there's no difference in, you know, enemy reaction time. I'm pretty sure it's just straight up enemies, and trust me, I've scoured everywhere. I can't seem to find any information in this game because it's not very well, like, documented. And some people are like, oh, it just changes this. I'm pretty damn sure it doesn't change anything, just more enemies. So if this is your first time playing, I recommend playing on I Have No Fear or Who Wants Some Wang. I strongly do not recommend playing No Pain, No Gain until you have some level of understanding with this game. It's very fucking hard. So I strongly recommend playing on this difficulty first and then moving on up. Enemies in this game kill you so fucking fast that you can die within a second. There's also 2 enemies that can one-shot you, the Coolie and the Shadow Warrior. So we'll get into that when we get there. So let's go ahead and play on.
No pain, no gain.
So, yeah, right off the bat we're getting shot at. So that should set the tone for the difficulty. And there's explosions. Yep, this is a build engine game. So, first things first. Shuriken, nuclear warhead. And we get some extra shurikens. So I'll explain how the game controls. It's pretty much like Duke. You actually start every level set with your fists. That's a personal weapon. So also, if I was doing this motion right here in the Redux version, I'd actually go like this. It's really hard to explain, but that's why I prefer this. And we also start with some shurikens. Shurikens actually go in 3s, so they can actually be picked up too, like that. So if you hit E on them. So if you're also low on health like I am right now, if you find these kind of training dummies, you can actually punch these to get health back, and likewise, if you punch a wall, you actually take damage. So, and if you have overhealed health, you can also punch these up. So if you have 120, you can go all the way up to 200. The border, by the way, you can actually adjust in this version, so I'm pretty stoked about that. It's really cool. So, the story of this game, you're low Wang, Zilla dude, he tries to kill you. The end. This game does not need a story. It's pretty shitty. So, I will say this right now, this game is hard as hell. So, the first weapon you'll pick up is going to be the Uzi here. So the Uzi is pretty much like the chain gun, or... Oh, by the way, yeah, if you leave enemies alone, they'll shoot themselves. They commit honorable Sudoku. So, that is actually applicable to the higher tier ninjas. There's different colors that we encounter later on. So, if you're ever like, shit, man, what do I do? If you ignore them long enough, they'll just shoot themselves. It's actually quite a cheesy strategy you can employ in later difficulties like this. I don't recommend relying on it. It's a random chance, I'm pretty sure. But the wiki is actually lying in that it says only the brown pants ones do it. I've seen every single type of them do it. So, this game is just riddled with bullshit. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm definitely going to say it's pretty damn hard. Also, the sword is a one-hit kill on these enemies. And once you pick up 2 Uzis, you can also do that. We do have a little bit of an inventory. We got like flash bombs, smoke bomb, we've got caltrops, you know, all that shit. So that ghost is actually right. See that enemy walking around with that crate? That's actually the Coolie enemy. They are basically a one-shot kill, and when they die, not every single one does that, by the way, but for the most part, all of them do. And you can also just, like, you know, use shurikens on them, whatever. If you jib them with an explosive, they actually won't spawn. And also, 2 whole nipple pixels. That's how you know it's a build game. So yeah, this is the Riot Gun. This is this game's shotgun. It has toggleable modes. So you can shoot 1 barrel or 4. And then you have the missile launcher, which if we do this, we can wait.
3, 2, 1. All systems ready.
So yeah, you can actually launch a nuke out of it doing that. The nuke is only one at a time. It's insanely devastating. It's pretty invaluable, I'd say, on the higher difficulties. But yeah, this game actually has my favorite rocket launcher in a game. I'm dead serious, dude. Like, if you could rocket jump in this game, it would rival the Quake one, but... oh, excuse me. Sadly, it doesn't. Also, there's a bunch of anime weebery bullshit. I'm not a huge fan of it. So, you also get fortune cookies. Those are going to be your overheals in this game. You can overheal up to 200 HP. Much like in, you know, Duke 3D and stuff like that, you want to make sure you're healing at the right times. You don't want to waste your overheals. So, this game is almost essential to find the secrets in. It's that hard. And right now I'm actually conserving ammo by just using the single shot. You can use the sword if you really want to, but I don't really need it, so... I mean, it is very, very good. I will say that. It's just not my thing to get up really close to enemies in this game. They're very dangerous, so... Now... Yeah, sometimes this guy spawns and he kills you, like, if you get too close. I don't know. Maybe that's a redux issue. I'm not sure. So, also this game has 4 different key types. Per level, I should say. There's actually red, yellow, green, and blue key cards, and then there's, you know, whatever, red, stuff like that, like keys. So, also, there's our first example of a Shadow Ninja. Those guys have a one-shot kill attack. There's actually 2 of them in this room, and another one spawns in a few seconds, so... you see that attack right there? They usually do that at around mid-range. That is an instant kill. Doesn't matter how much health you have, dude. If you get hit by that, you're gonna die. It's insanely brutal. I wouldn't say it's fair, because sometimes they just do that. But, you know, if you can avoid it, try. I don't think this game is very balanced in certain areas. I'm pretty sure another one of those bastards spawns behind me, but it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna ignore him anyways. So, oh yeah, he's over there. Oh, okay. Let's just get the hell out of the level and not die. So, you can also use... I am so lucky, dude. On a test record I did earlier, I actually did that exact same thing, but it wasn't right there. So, yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is another issue with Void SW, at least the version I have. That, like, sound effect for the transition into levels in some boss fight music actually is way too loud. I have no idea how you fix it. I'll try to turn the music down when it starts happening, though. Mainly on the boss fights, obviously, so... This level is pretty much the introduction to how the gameplay works. So, you see that yellow plate? Yeah, that's a grenade trap. That's essentially a one-shot kill. There's more of those in higher difficulties, and yeah, you can see how much damage it actually does. It's pretty fucking ridiculous. What the hell? Okay, that's not supposed to be up there. In the Redux version, those are totally invisible. That is completely bullshit. I don't know how they fucked that up. I really don't. I have an idea. It's probably because they were rendering the voxels and the way the game renders in that version, and it just sort of fucked up. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's a bad version, because it's actually really damn good. But it's got issues. So you can see that those red pants ninjas over there, and I haven't even mentioned this. Yeah, enemies can duck. It's pretty rudimentary for, like, enemy AI at this time, but yeah, they can duck. They can, like I said, also commit suicide if they get stuck. There's also caltrops they can throw down. They can shoot flashbangs. Like, enemies in this game are very, very dangerous. And if you're ever curious how I remember the shotgun, those 2 barrels equals 1 shot, you know, 2 barrels equals 1, 3 equals 4. So be very careful in this game. There's a lot of really nasty fall damage. That was not my fault. I'm just gonna blame everybody but myself. I wouldn't say that it's bad, but it's pretty bad. You can see what I mean. Like, you just take very easy fall damage in this game. I'm not a fan of that. A lot of the level design is pretty good, though, I will admit. Some of it's pretty cryptic, but, you know, this was that time in gaming where it was still acceptable to do that. I think the music, even though it's not as cool as the Duke soundtrack, as an ambient musician myself, it's actually really relaxing. It's really quite good. I don't listen to it very often, but I absolutely do love the soundtrack in this game. So, and if you're like, oh no, Seth, you shouldn't you be offended by this game because your family's like Polynesian? No, I don't care. This game is not meant to be taken seriously. If you take it seriously, there's something totally wrong with you. I don't really like care, honestly. So, anyways, this game is very fucking hard. That's all I care about, is it's a very hard shooter. It's satisfying to beat this game, and if you're curious as to why I didn't upload this sooner, I got my fucking Fire Cape in RuneScape, man. That was, like, a big deal for me, so... It took 3 hours, dude. It was totally worth it, but anyways, this game does have a lot of technical... You know, I'm not a huge fan of this game as a whole, because I just don't think it's very balanced, but I will always say it's actually very impressive, because this game manages to pull off sector by sector, or sorry, sector over sector. It also managed to do, like, physics, surprisingly. I'm not trying to be like, oh, this game is the best, it's better than Quake, but for the era of gaming this came out, for a 2D, well, 3D with 2D elements, this is actually a very, very impressive game. Like, you can see over there's actually sector over sector a little bit, but as we get further into the game, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, the grenade launcher has an arc, you know, there's all these little things that make this game just so satisfying. And it's why I say I don't hate it. I think it's got, oh my good lord, it's got its mechanical issues, that's for sure. Every game has those. But this game is very, very, very fun. I mean, when you get kicking ass and getting rhythms going, especially in the later levels, it's pretty fucking fun. You know, it does have those, like, smile on your face, duh, I killed every enemy in the world sort of shit going on when you do it. It's actually... I'd say it's still slightly more balanced than Blood, but that's just barely. So, the grenade launcher... Yeah, that's what I was going to demonstrate right off the bat. This thing has massive splash damage, which sucks because it's an awesome weapon. Like, it's absolutely amazing. But the splash damage is awful. Also, this area is now repopulated, so let's demonstrate a nuke. So... Oh shit! That was my fault! I guess you can preload them, I did not know that actually. So, anyways, you'll see that the nuke doesn't have a massive AoE, but it is pretty big. It does leave gas. Oh my god. See, this is my biggest gripe with this, and this is why I should have just not went over here with the nuke. I should have just done it like normal. Basically, the Shadow Ninja can just one-shot you, and that's really unfun. You can see what I mean. You have absolutely no indicator that it happens. It just comes out of fucking left field and just kills you if you're not paying attention to exactly where they're at. And it is kind of inconsistent sometimes, but, you know, I'd still say moments like this are the only time I really hate this game. Goodness. I think the first couple levels are actually pretty tough, and as you can see, we actually can get some pretty hefty damage on enemies with this weapon. It's a little tricky to get used to, but it is very, very satisfying. So, that was a really weird noise. It sounded like a fucking fake Shia LaBeouf noise. Also, I think this was the first game to actually have this, but it has sticky bombs. I don't think I've even demonstrated those yet. I don't think I've had any, but it is the first FPS game I could think of that actually had rideable vehicles, which is pretty impressive, and they actually have weapons as well. So there's a lot of little things in this game that really make it stand out. And if you're like, oh, dude, you died. Well, first of all, the nuke was an accident, and I had no idea where the other dude was. So this is actually going to be repopulated over here as well. I do know what to expect for the most part. I've played this about 3 times altogether just to practice it, so I am familiar with all the enemy layout. But it's still an absolutely insanely hard game. Now, it's not like other FPS games I've played where you can just kind of ignore enemies. If you see an enemy, it needs to go. That's all there is to it. Enemies are so fucking aggressive in this game. They are just so deadly. The fact that coolies can one-shot you, the fact that, like, enemies have tracking abilities later on, yeah, I'm not bullshitting you. Some of the ninjas, the brown, well, it's like orangish brown, they actually have homing weaponry. So there's a lot of shit in this game that's just blatantly ridiculously hard. So the grenade units are also okay. The main trick with this game is to get enemies at like a pretty reasonably close distance and not at a medium range, because, you know, the special ninjas in general, they don't usually use their special attacks until they're about medium range from you. So you want to stay at that kind of area. So, oh my god, I'm really dry on explosives right now. Oof. Okay, god damn, that is so tense, dude. You have no idea till you played it. Oh, come on, man. So, the only problem I have with Shadow Warrior is sometimes it feels like you can run out of ammo really quickly, other times not so much. So, next we're going to get introduced to Rippers, which are basically this game's equivalency of the Pinky Demons. They're really fast, they do a lot of damage. I'm just going to ignore them right now. Oh my god. They can actually climb on walls, and they have like 3 different variations in the entire game. Also, this sound effect might be loud. Yeah. Okay, so this is a pretty cool level as well. Stink like dead baboon. I love that joke. So, anyways, this is the sticky bomb. So this is a pretty iffy weapon at times, but it can latch onto enemies, so it is kind of useful. You can make proximity mines out of it, also Poop and Girl, so that's pretty cool, I guess. I do like the joke when he says, I leave room. That's a good joke. So there's 2 coolies in this area and a shadow ninja, so I'm trying to take this a little bit. Shit, he spawned! Okay, damn it. I thought I, didn't have him aggroed yet. You can see just how... Oh, shit. You can just... Ugh. Also, this is actually a hint. Master Leaps say, rabbit is gentle, rabbit is humble, follow the rabbit. That's actually a little, like, tip for a little bit in the level. So, you just step on this thing. The bellows are what those are called. Also, there's koi fish. Also, I forgot to mention, this version of Void has, like, that weird reverb effect. It makes me think I'm playing Half-Life. So, also, that's my favorite Lo Wang quote, is that, like, Scooby-Doo parody laugh. That shit always makes me laugh. So, my tricks to this level is pay attention to that secret number 1 that the game actually tells you. And keep your distance. Be very, very fucking careful. Gordon Ramsay would be so upset. Also, the rabbits can have sex with each other if you leave them alone long enough. There's actually a little funny room you can find, too. So, best advice, chunk, 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 chunk. Trust me, do that. It's a good idea. You do not want to be over there. You should kill all business associates. That might be my second favorite, like, quote in the game. My favorite fortune cookie quote in this game is, man who's stuck in pantry has ass and jam. That is absolutely the fucking best quote in the game. That's actually my favorite, like, fake fortune cookie quote, too. It's just fucking funny. I've actually heard that before, and it still makes me smile. So don't blow that wall up, and you can actually get some of these goodies as well, so... Yeah, that's another one. Man who buy drowned cat, pay for wet pussy. That's also a good one. There's the anime girl. She'll shoot you if you stand next to her, which is kind of funny because, you know, in Duke Nukem it was all about objectifying women. Allegedly. And in this game they actually shoot you if you interact with them, which is very funny because the game doesn't incentivize you to hit on women. Wang is described as shitty, so I like it. It's funny. Trying to think what else here. So, the shareware version of the game is probably the shortest, obviously, but it's actually pretty damn well made. It's hard as shit, I will say that. And yeah, I hate the Ripper's pain sound. It's fucking annoying. So, I strongly, and I'm saying this very clearly, strongly recommend just ignoring them. There's a secret over here. It's a warhead if you don't have one already. This game does give you nukes pretty liberally, so don't worry about overusing them or not. But this game is hard as shit, so you want to be safe. So make sure you're overhealed, and guess what? The bees! No, not the bees, they're in my eyes! Yeah, you knew I was gonna do it. This is the enemy everybody hates, myself included. Also, remember when I said, hey, look, there's a rabbit? He'll actually jump off there. It's actually a hint. I'll show you in a minute. So, Void SW also has this really nice fog effect as well, which I quite like. This isn't actually in the original version, or sorry, the Redux version. Now you're probably like, I thought you said there was some secret, Seth. Why don't you get in the secret, you big pussy? I'll show you why. Just hold your goddamn horses. So, what I'm doing right now is actually aggroing all the bees, because I don't want them to move around. The bees are shitty and annoying, so let's see if I can just round them up here. There we go. Good enough. Yeah, just jump down here. There's some health if you need it.
Welcome to real life, Mr. Chan.
I don't really get the joke. I know Jackie Chan's dead. I'm pretty sure it's tasteless no matter what, but I don't get the joke. So we can go in here, get the Kevlar, and now you're probably thinking, hey, wait a minute, we're back here. That was a shitty secret. Trust me, trust me, trust me, just do it again. I strongly recommend doing what I just did. Leap, no! Also, other naked anime chick. I mean, it's not naked, but it's naked. So, I mean, this game has points for being edgy and shitty. I get it, I suppose. You gotta remember, this game came out like when this shit in games was like rare. So, it was probably like enough to piss people off. Oh, my dear sweet god. That's why I went this way, in case you couldn't tell. I did not want to be around that bullshit. So, alright, we're actually almost at the end of the level, too. So, I don't know how to explain this, but this lava, it's creepy. I don't know how to explain this color palette for the lava, just looks weird. Maybe I'm just strange, but I don't know what it is, but Asian, like, art, like, especially, like, the temple stuff, I'll show you guys later, like, actually creeps me out. I don't know what it is. So, go ahead and shoot that, and then let's go ahead and get rid of these coolies. Oh god, there we go. Anyways, I'll show you the solution. It's pretty easy. So go ahead and switch on that one, this one, and then this one. So what that does, it opens up the way forward. Yay, how cute. So that's one of the only times you ever do it, and I'm pretty sure they parody it in the next chapter as well, where it's like, I want to kick ass, not solve puzzles. I think that's the joke? Not 100% sure. So, I really shouldn't be using the explosives against the Rippers. Anyways, actually, Ripper Heart summons you that shoots a railgun, and it's actually pretty good. It shoots faster than you do with the railgun, and I think this is the first game to have one. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure this was the first FPS with a railgun. The Quake 2 railgun, it ain't. That's all I can tell you, though. So this is actually the final level in this chapter. It's pretty good. I actually think this is a really solid level. I think if this was actually in the main game, if it was all one thing, it probably would have been broken into 2 separate areas, but as we'll explore later on, it actually continues into the next level as well. So this little temple is actually pretty cool, because this whole thing that we're looking at was actually fucking impressive to do with the build engine. I mean, those of you who don't know, sector over sector was actually a trick. It was never actually a like full-on thing you could do in games. So the fact that this game has that and it works and doesn't fuck up the engine is amazing. I'm not gonna say it's the coolest thing ever, but it's pretty damn impressive. Doing it in Doom is also pretty hard too. As someone who works the Doom engine, it is pretty tough to do. Well, reliably and not looking like shit. So, I also really like this puzzle, because it's not... This game doesn't have too many puzzles. It's not, like, super frustrating or hard to figure out any of them. I like it, though. It's just cute. I don't know. I think it's fair. There's another one later on in the finale for the second area that's really shitty, though. It's got, like, no fucking, like, anything. It's just whatever. So, anyways... I will say this, also, I forgot to mention, grenades against coolies work, but I don't recommend it. It tends to not really kill them outright. If you want to do anything, use a rocket. And I am dead serious, dude. I absolutely love the rocket launcher in this game. It's pretty high up there. I'd say it's my second favorite. It's so fucking dope. I think it's the sound, the way it moves, the way it looks, just... Oh, it's cool. Actually, let's go ahead and use a nuke. Do I have one ready? Okay, back up, by the way. That's actually a trap. Shit! Oh, God, I thought I was too close. Wow. Yeah, that's why I don't like rippers. That noise is so damn loud. Wow, that nuke was very underwhelming. Anyways, so there's also another nuke in here, which is why I was pretty okay using one. So... You can also turn off a trap by doing that. I strongly recommend it. Otherwise, this creeps me the fuck out. I don't know why. I'm not even like, I don't know how to describe it. That just freaks me out. Like this imagery right here, it just looks so foreign and different and weird and ugh, I don't like it. It's gross. It's cool, but it's fucking weird to me. I don't know how to explain it. I love Asian culture, but I just... Oh, some of that stuff just really gives me the willies. It's not even scary. I don't know how to describe it. It's just uncanny looking to me, and it's cool. I love it. So, anyways. The hardest part of this entire game is just understanding how to use all the weapons. Because, if you couldn't tell, some of them are very dangerous. The rocket launcher is actually probably the safest weapon in the game, because its splash damage is actually pretty small, so it's not, like, incredibly dangerous to use it all the time, but, you know, ammo's not all that common. It is more common later on when we start encountering more enemy types, but I know where to go, by the way. I'm just picking up as much stuff as I can for the next couple portions. This level is pretty damn hard. It's got a really good, like, test, I guess, so... I will say this, Shadow Warrior just kind of says, hey, I hope you got everything ready, and I hope you're ready for this shit, because it's gonna get hard really quick. Also, I think what makes this game really hard is the fact that there's not very much armor. In Duke Nukem, enemies could drop armor, there was pretty consistent armor all over the place in general. In this game, it's just... I don't know, I feel like that's something that, whenever I'm making a Doom level, usually the first thing I do is I put an armor vest, or at least a couple armor bonuses, because you want to incentivize the player to not take damage. And obviously it's like extra health, so... And the longer you keep it, the better you are, right? So, I mean, it's just a thing when I'm designing, but I'm not an expert by any stretch, so... You know, take of it what you will. It's just my opinion. But I think it's something that contributes to this game. It's hard to explain. I love the texturing in this game as well. Actually, let's go ahead and use this. So, for me, it's Q, but the smoke bomb... actually, no, if you switch to your fist actually gets an increased range when you use a smoke bomb, and enemies do not attack you. I mean, coolies still explode, as you just saw, but... Jesus. It's pretty crazy to me that you can do that. It's a very broken ability. And smoke bombs are actually quite common. I don't know if that was an intentional thing, but yeah, they increase your melee range with your hands. So you can also spawn infinite rabbits.
Oh damn, I'm running into walls now.
Yeah, this is just a weird thing you can do. I don't really know why they put it in the game. I guess it was to, you know, showcase that the player could spawn stuff. I don't know. You could do shit like that in Doom as well. Not to that extent, obviously, but, well, kind of. I guess spawning actors is pretty neat. See what I mean? I was confident knowing that was there. So, yeah, you can do a lot of really cool shit in this game if you actually use your items properly. You can also use, like, the gas grenade to your fullest extent by using it as, like, a room clear. There's lots of stuff you can use in this game to play effectively. But it's all... It's really not quite like Duke, it's not quite like Doom. It's its own kind of flavor. I don't really know how to explain it. It's Shadow Warrior, right? So this is actually the way forward. So, oh boy. I'm mainly worried about getting hit by bees. I haven't even mentioned that the repair kit is basically like another form of a key. And also a ton of ghosts just spawn, so... Oh boy. Now, I don't really care about the ghosts, to be honest. Like I said, they're not really a priority enemy to me. They just annoy you and they don't really do much. So I'm not worried about killing every single one. So let's go ahead and get our nuke ready.
3, 2,
Alright. There's a reason I'm doing this as well. So now you can just kind of jump out here, but oh, Jesus, what the hell? Okay. There we go. Be really careful doing that because you can nuke yourself really easy. I strongly recommend using nukes at the right moment. Oh my god, he's not dead? Holy shit! Okay, that scared the fuck out of me. Anyways, so when you're in a vehicle, the vehicle can still take damage, by the way. So, vehicles also have like these kind of explosives. They're not very powerful, so don't get over-reliant on them. Also, the Void version of this actually has much better vehicle controls, and I'm saying that generously. This game has some pretty awful fucking vehicle control. Also, this can do splash damage, so the vehicles are really, you know, temperamental, and don't rely on them. I think, yeah, there's quite a bit... Oh my god, what the hell was that? Oh, I need to change my keys for that someday, and not be lazy and stupid. There we go, perfect. So, I'm gonna grab an overheal. I think that's all I've got for my med kit. Okay, perfect. So, this next portion is pretty cool, I will admit, but it can be... Oh my god. So this part right here, you can see there's a shitload of rippers, there's a shitload of ninjas, and there's actually bees as well. Get the fuck in there. Also, Heat Seeker card will auto-track enemies, so... I don't get the joke, man. It's like some sort of thing that's just way over my head. So, yeah. I strongly recommend doing this secret because you actually get, like, you know, equipment to kill this shit with. Okay, so you can toggle the Heat Seeker by just right-clicking or whatever your alt-fire is. And they do have, like, that meter right there on the side. That's how many heat-seeking rockets are going to be active. Now, this is a build engine game, so of course there's a gimmick to all this. If you use the Heat Seeker card near a fire, it'll actually track towards the fire instead of an enemy. So, it's not exactly perfect. So keep that in mind. I'm just going to ignore this shit because I really don't have the ammo or the time or the patience. Shit. So there's also a Mama Ripper up there as well. These things suck. Where the hell is it? Did I kill it? How the fuck did that happen? Oh, Jesus. I think I did kill it. It's basically a brown, kind of orangish color swap. They have more health, and they do more damage. Oh, it's down there. Okay, cool. So, oh my god. You can hear them just banging their chest like fucking Joe Rogan. Oh! So, oh my god. The fucking bees in this game, man. They're not a joke. You see it in memes and shit, but it's real. Also, the Rippers can jump down here, so... I'm not even kidding when I say enemies in this game will not leave you alone. Also, if they kill you, they tear your heart out, too. Which is pretty cool. It's a nice touch. I'm not going to demonstrate it, because I don't want to. Jesus Christ, these fucking bees, man. Oh. Who would have thought it would take this many bullets to kill bees? But that's this game. Alright, so I'm coming in here pretty weak. I don't have any, like, you know, overheal, which is really scary, so I might die. And I don't think that's fair. But, you know, we'll do my best. Will do my best. Oh no, that's crazy. Save. For fuck's sake, once you get to a spot you know is safe. Good enough. 10 HP? That's more than plenty. Good. Okay, I think that's everything in this damn area. Now, also...
She's ready to last doom.
I don't get the joke. I don't understand. Anyways, go watch my Tomb Raider playthrough. So, the good one. What am I saying? I already got rid of the old one. It's shit and it's gone. I'm so glad. It was terrible. This is a timer, so you can do this in one cycle if you want, but... Oh, excuse me. Do it however you want. I really gotta pee. Thankfully, the level's almost over, too. So... Now, this is what I was talking about, the weird texturing. I don't know what it is. This looks gross. It looks like burned enchiladas and skin. I don't know how to explain. You ever, like, done that? Like, burned enchiladas and the sauce gets all, like, crunchy looking? Does that not look like it? It's fucking gross. I don't like it. Makes me uncomfortable. So there's a Mother Ripper, and so we've got to pretty much take care of all of these. There's, like, 3 of them in here. You know this game is a build engine game when you're comfortable using a rocket launcher this close. You couldn't do this shit in Duke Nukem. The Duke rocket launcher, I would have been dead like 8 times by now. The Blood one, I probably would have lit myself on fire like 30 times. So, that's why I'm very confident. Also, oh hell. Sometimes it actually, I had it happen once in the, what's it called version, where that actually kept making noise even after it died. Oh boy. This part here. This is very awkward to control, and it sucks. I'm not even trying to mince words. This is ass. It's sticky and weird, and I don't know how to explain it. If I die here, it's not even a surprise. Okay, I think I can make that. You have to make it back, so make sure you don't save, because it's going to be a real shit time. Also because in the highest difficulty, which I selected, you can't actually cheat, so have fun. So you gotta make sure you have enough room. That's the best combination I found to get up here and back. Ugh, God. So this is the hard part, is just judging where to put this damn thing. I mean, it's impressive for the time this game came out, but in 2022, it's more of an inconvenience than anything. There's also a secret over there, but I'm not going to get it because I just don't give a shit. It's honestly not worth it. I don't think that's enough. That needs to go forward a bit more. I'm not dying to find out either. Oh, I made a good joke there. We have to make it so we can land on that accurately. Thank God this is the only time this happens in the game, too. As far as I'm aware, at least in the base game. Whew, that was like way too close. That was the fucking pixel right there of how fucking close you can do that to. Alright, so there's a Mom Ripper in here. Just gonna ignore her. Go ahead and grab your rocket launcher. And I'm gonna actually... Hang on, this is gonna get really loud if I don't do this. Okay, good. So... Oh, it's still really loud. Oh well. Hope you guys enjoy the music. I still love that. So that was that one. I'll see you in the next one.